YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I am excited for today's video because it is going to be just another sit down and chit chat, and I feel like you guys get to know me a little bit better with these videos. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I enjoy them simply because most days I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and it's kind of nice to just sit down, answer questions that I'm getting asked a lot about, and drink some hot tea while I'm doing it, because you know what? Pause for the little moments in life like this. I made a promise to myself that 2019 is going to be the year of transparency, and I'm going to share my life to an extent. Wow, that was the most contradictory sentence. I am going to share the things that are going on in my life because you guys obviously are invested in following my journey, and I owe that to you. And so I'm getting asked a lot about the things that I'm about to address, and yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. Question number 1. What is holding you back from moving to Hawaii? I talked about this on my Instagram story last night. So the only thing keeping me here right now in this moment is my family and my horse. I have been told that you do have to put your animals through a quarantine, which makes complete sense. If you've ever been to Hawaii, you know that there's sticklers about anything being brought into the island, and even leaving the island. You have to like fill out these forms on the planes when you're flying in, about like if you have this or that, why you're bringing it, who you're coming with, all these things. So I completely am aware of the fact that if I did move one day, that I will have to quarantine my dogs. I have a friend in the veterinary industry, and her and I were actually looking into it one morning. So I don't know, there's pros and cons to it. Am I wanting to? Yeah, I really want to move. But like I said, those are the only things that are really kind of, I don't know if I'm ready yet. So we will see what my future holds, I guess. I've got nothing but family tying me down here in Texas, and that's kind of a really good feeling because I literally could up and leave at any given point in time if I wanted to, and that's pretty freeing to feel that way. So I do have plans on going back to Oahu this year though. Pumped about that. Question number 2. What do you do when you feel like you don't know what you're doing anymore? I'm a little confused by this question. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a funny question or a serious question. Girl, most days I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't think any of us really know. I like to think that I have my life planned out, but to be quite honest, I just take it one day at a time and take things as they come. So don't feel like we've all got it figured out, because we don't. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Married, settling down with whoever this, bless his name, guy is going to be in my future, wherever the heck he is. Hopefully I have a baby at that point in time. I don't know if I want 1 or 2. I grew up with a brother and sister, so the thought of being an only child, I wouldn't know what that's like. So I think I want 2 babies. Where else? Still in the fitness. I love this lifestyle. I do not plan on leaving it behind anytime soon. This is just like, oh, I feel like I'm thriving right now. And I kind of want to live in Hawaii. Yeah. Next question. Are you dating again?
What is wrong with these people? I would do anything for them, and they're just hanging me out to dry.
Next question. Are you single right now? Yes, I am as single as they come. Is it scary living alone? No, not at all. I will just say this. I have a pit bull, and I also know how to defend myself if need be. So that being said, he literally he is the sweetest dog on this planet. Does not have a mean bone in his body, but he will defend his mom to the ends of the earth. So I feel pretty darn safe with him here. Are you seeing anyone? Have you gone on dates? Yes, I have gone on dates. Am I seeing any one person? No. So there were apparently rumors that I'm dating someone, and no, like it's kind of amusing though that people think they know my dating life more than I know my dating life, but you know. Tips on moving on from a toxic relationship. Ooh, That's a good one. I'm not a therapist, so I can't say that you should do this or you shouldn't do this, but things that helped me personally, block, delete, surround yourself with positive people who are going to hold you accountable to not let said person back into your life. That is a major key. And just focus on you. I know that sounds conceited, maybe that sounds cold-hearted, but focus on the things that make you happy. Find a hobby. For me, mine is fitness and horses. Find something to pour your heart and your time into. That way you're not sitting at home letting your mind go stir crazy, because when you sit on the couch at home, or you sit or you're laying in bed with nothing to do and nothing to distract your mind, you're gonna sit and fret and overthink, and then eventually it's just not gonna work out. Next question, is there any reason to eat soup with a fork? I am so confused by this. What? Why don't you like capitalizing the first letter in your sentences or using proper grammar? I use proper grammar. I am a grammar stickler, like I always have been, so I don't know where that's coming from. And capitalizing the first letter in my sentences, I didn't know that was a big thing. To each their own, really. Like, if you want to, great. If not, cool. You know, if I had to take a sit-down written English exam and it was like a life or death, you've got to pass this, I would pass with flying colors, so it's okay.
So me think, why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
What kind of horse do you have? He is beautiful. Well, thank you. His name is Harley. He is a big tank. He is my little Lamborghini, as I call him. He is the most well-trained animal that I've ever owned in my entire life. He is incredible. He is a quarter horse. He is a quarter horse, and that's kind of what I grew up with. Are you dating anyone? Wow, this is just the hot question of the day, you guys. No, I'm not dating anyone. I am not dating anyone. But you know what? Like I said, people seem to think they know what's going on in my life all the time. So if they want to make assumptions, that's okay. Ooh, that would be a fun video. Make an assumption about me. Should I do that? Should I do that? Give this a thumbs up if you want it. Next question. When is it appropriate to share a new relationship on social media? You know, I don't think there is a specific time frame for this. I feel like some people want to share sooner, and for me, from here on out, like I said, I'm just gonna lay low until I've got a ring on my finger one day, and I'm just gonna pop up and surprise all of y'all. So I think everyone has a different opinion on this. You know, if you're in a new relationship and you're happy and you're excited, then share it. Like, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I have nothing against that. I've been there, I've done that. But as for me and the things that I've personally learned on my journey in my personal life with social media, from here on out, you know, I'm just gonna lay low with my personal life. And if someone has something bad to say about that, I don't know. Do you have a hidden talent? You know, I can't think of any. I've got a lot of hidden talents. The problem is I can't find them. See what I did there? Do you get lonely living alone? Ooh, this is a good one. At first I did. It was kind of weird because it was like a weird transition of being used to living with somebody and then living alone. Honestly though, I think I'm going to have the hardest time ever living with someone again. Like, it has almost been 1.5 years that I've lived on my own, and it is so freeing. I don't have to come home to anyone. I don't have anyone to answer to. If I want to walk around looking like a hot mess express, I can. And you know, I thought about getting a roommate for a while, just because like I do have a relatively decent sized place, and I was like, I could have a roommate if I wanted to. There's plenty of room for us. I have my office and my bedroom, but I just can't. Like, I've got my 2 pups. We're happy, we're cozy. I love living here by myself, and it has never really felt lonely. There are some times where, like, obviously, you know, like, oh, it's kind of quiet here. I wish I had someone to share it with. But the way I see it is you can view that silence as loneliness or freedom. And for me, it's freedom. How are you going to balance a potential love interest and your independence as a woman? Ooh, the way I see it, I feel like I'm just like, the way I see it, the way I see it. The way I see it is anyone that is a contender for a potential future love interest or the future man that God has in store for me is not going to be threatened by my independence. He is not going to try to alleviate or get rid of that independence. And he's going to respect it. And I feel like that is something that is very hard to find. Men either want you to no longer be independent or they are threatened by it and they feel like they can't keep up with you. I've actually been told that before, that this person felt like he couldn't keep up with me. And in a way I was just like, all right, well, I can respect that. Like, I took it as a compliment in a sense. Yeah, it sucked because I thought this guy was like, oh, maybe he could be, you know, a contender. So yeah, I don't know, you know, you just have to find someone that can respect it and isn't threatened by it. What is your experience with feeling burnt out and how do you overcome it? Ooh, that is a good one. The burnout is real and this is something they don't tell you. Just like, you know, when moms go through birth and having a child, there's a lot that they're like, these are the things that people don't tell you about until you experience it. With being a social media influencer, there is a lot that people don't openly talk about. The burnout is real. One thing that I really had to fight was learning how to clock out, shut my laptop, put my phone down, because unfortunately when you do what I do and you do what so many other social media influencers do, there's really no set clock out schedule. I mean, there's some days where I wake up at 7 and I'm working from 9 till 4 and then I like call it quits. And then there's other days where I don't start work until 12 or 1 because maybe I had a late night the night before and I'll be working until 8 or 9 o'clock at night, sometimes 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And so because of that, if you're not disciplined, if you don't know how to set a strict schedule, it can be really, really taxing on you. There's also this sense of always having to try to keep up with what everyone else is doing, and I had to learn to step back from that as well and just do me and focus on the best that I can be. There have been plenty of days where I have wanted to legitimately quit social media, like throw in the towel, throw my phone off a cliff somewhere, go off the grid, go incognito. There have been so many times where I've wanted to reach that level of I'm done, like I'm completely done. But in moments like that, I set my phone down, I go do something that's gonna make me feel good about myself, whether that's a workout, maybe going and getting a massage or a pedicure, like something so simple that's just going to like wash over me, help me come back down, ground me, and help me remember why I love doing this in the first place. Tips on how to leave a toxic relationship. Whew. I don't have much to say here other than the fact that if it's draining you, if you feel lifeless, if you're not happy, if you feel like your glow is completely gone, it is time to walk away. Walking away is the hardest part of the entire thing. It's mustering up the courage and the strength to do that, because when you've been in something for so long, you get comfortable, you do. And walking away is the hardest part of it, but I promise you that once you do, the weight that is going to be lifted off your shoulders, maybe not immediately, maybe not, you know, the day of or even the week of, it might take a month or two, but I promise you that when everything settles, the dust settles, the storm is calm, you're going to look back and realize, wow, like, why did I not do that sooner? So to any female that is struggling with walking away from any toxic relationship, whether that be a significant other, a friendship, family even, I hate saying that, but it happens, you have to put your heart first, and that's not selfish in any circumstance. Where do you go to find decent men? Girl, when you find that out, you let me know, because I'm still trying to figure that one out too. When do you have the talk with someone that you're dating about where it's going? Well, here's how I see this. Simply put, I personally would only date a man who knows what he wants when he's pursuing me. So if, you know, you're at a point where they just aren't willing to commit and you want to, then maybe it's time to just part ways. Just how I see it, I don't know. But y'all know that I am no relationship expert by any means. So yeah, you know, that's just how I see it. I'm only gonna date a man that knows what he wants, that knows that he's not scared of commitment, because obviously like that's what I would want too. So yeah. Would you ever get back with your ex? I would rather cut my toes and my fingers off. Yeah. When you're ready to date again, how would you put yourself back out there? Dating apps? I'm actually on Bumble. I'm probably going to fully regret that at some point in time because yeah, I don't know. I'm hardly ever on there. And when I am on there, it's usually just to pass time. And for every like 50 guys I decline, I swipe one right. I'm just way too picky, you guys. I mean, I don't know. I guess after you go through the crap that I've been through, you've got standards. And I just feel like I'm never going to find a guy on there. So why even try? I don't know. Also, my entire life is out on social media. So then there's that. And I feel like I'm just already out there. I just don't really, I don't know. I'm just so picky. How did you recover from your anxiety phase, and do you still get panic attacks? So I started seeing a counselor. Best decision I ever made. She really helped me dig deep in the things that I didn't want to talk about and kind of figure out where this anxiety was coming from. And she kind of helped me, you know, learn ways to not necessarily manage it, but to help like get rid of some of those things, those triggers, so to say. As far as panic attacks, I have not had a single one since I've moved into this place, if that says anything about how good of a place I'm at right now in my life, how I really do feel like I'm just growing and thriving, growing and glowing. I feel like things are just falling into place and it feels really, really good. And I haven't had any panic attacks. I'm focusing on me and my pups. I did have one night where I could feel, you know, when you deal with panic attacks frequently, which I did all of last year, you know your triggers and you can feel yourself slipping into that that state of mind again. And I did have one night, I guess about a month ago, when I could feel things starting to go that direction. And so I did what my counselor told me to do, and I started trying to pull myself out of it. And I don't think people realize how incredibly difficult and how much strength it acquires to be able to pull yourself out of a panic attack or an anxiety attack or anything of that nature, because it does. But I actually went upstairs and I laid down, and Nico, my dog, he has been lately picking up on those things, which is pretty incredible because dogs are amazing animals. And he actually came and he laid on top of me. Like he just like put his entire body on top of me, which he doesn't usually do. And he did not leave my side that entire night. Like he literally, anytime I got up, he, like if I got up to go to the bathroom, he was right there with me. Like he did not leave my side because he just knew in a sense that something wasn't right with his mom. So I have not had any panic attacks. That was the only one that I almost fell into, and I pulled myself out of it, and things are just really, really good lately. And the last question that I'm going to answer, what do you think about staying friends with an ex? First and foremost, I feel like if you've been in a serious relationship with said ex, I don't see it being a logical thing unless you have intentions of getting back together in the future. Yeah, I personally am not friends with any of my exes. There's one guy that I did date a while ago, and we just kind of had like this little thing for a little bit, and then it just didn't work out. And I still consider him a really good friend. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, really, it's just best not to. But you know, there are certain situations where you're like, maybe you dated someone or you went on some dates with someone and you're like, you know what, we're better off as friends, and that's okay. That's being an adult, that's being mature about a situation. And so yeah, I do have one that's kind of like that, but other than that, I'm just like, no, this isn't gonna work. That was a whole swarm of questions, you guys. All the juicy stuff. I honestly prefer the juicy questions. They just like are so much more fun. I get asked all the time about fitness things, diet stuff, and so it's fun to change it up a little bit. So next time I post one of these questions or ask me questions on my Instagram story, don't hesitate to ask me all the juicy questions, because you know what? I like those, and those are probably the ones I'm gonna end up picking. Anyways, I have done enough chit-chatting. My camera is telling me that I've been filming for 40 minutes now, so I pray that this I pray that this video is not 40 minutes long. I'm going to try to shorten it to the best of my ability, but I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to my little chit chat. Also, if you're watching all the way till the end of this video, I am playing around with the idea of starting a podcast this year. I have a couple things lined up that I want to accomplish in 2019, and I'm kind of considering throwing a podcast in the mix of that. I've got an incredible team behind me that would help make it happen, and so I don't know. I'm playing around with the idea of it. If you guys would be interested in me doing a podcast, I've already got an entire list in my head of women that I would want to interview on it, and topics I would want to talk about and just dive in head first with. So it's exciting to think about. If you would watch it, comment below, you guys. Let me hear your thoughts. I think it would be really, really fun to do. But for now, I'm done talking, you guys. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you guys like these kind of sit down chit chats, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.